From artwork to animals, shipping weird and wonderful items is what we do best. We count down some of the strangest shipments we've sent around the globe. From entire museum exhibitions to endangered animals. Here's a look at some of these strangest shipments we've logged to date. Number 1. The dress, wedding traditions. Nowadays, a bride's dress is one of the notable details of any wedding, whether they're simple or extravagant. White is the traditional color, but did you know that at one point, your wedding dress was essentially just the best dress that you had? Women who were getting married didn't always go out hunting for what was essentially themselves embodied in a dress. They just went into their closets, found the fanciest thing they had, and called it a day. They didn't even care what color it was. Whether it was pink, blue, or purple, they wore what they had with pride, and often tried to dress it up even more with jewelry, furs, and silk. The tradition of wearing a white wedding dress didn't come about until 1840 when Queen Victoria was married. A marriage, by the way, that was between her and her first cousin. Her dress was white, covered in lace, and threaded with orange blossoms along the trim, and it was such a hit that people everywhere began to copy the look. Number 2. The bouquet and garter toss. Tossing the bouquet is still a pretty standard part of most weddings, though the garter toss is something that you don't always see quite as often. Both are truly the worst part of any wedding for a single person, but most people choose to get out there and suck it up to move the reception along. The real origins of these traditions are actually quite creepy, however. Simply put, couples used to go and consummate their marriage as soon as they could after saying, "I do." And it was no secret to any of their family members or guests that they were about to do the deed. Not only that, it wasn't really official unless there were witnesses, so wedding guests often watched it happen, trying to get a piece of ripped wedding dress for good luck. In this situation, weird is an understatement. The bouquet toss eventually became a way for the bride to distract everyone from what was about to happen so she and the groom could run off alone. Tossing the garter was what essentially served as the proof that the groom was about to go make things happen. Number 3. White tigers, United States to Bangkok, Thailand. For a white Bengal tiger to be born naturally, both parents must carry the unusual white color gene. As Bengal tigers are already rare, and this phenomenon occurs in only 10,000 births, a white tiger is a truly extraordinary creature. A special MD-11 jet from Memphis carried the precious cargo, with 6 separate enclosures, each housing an animal of around 3,500 pounds, to the final destination in Bangkok. The tigers were accompanied by specially trained vets and zoo attendants who ensured the big cat's journey was comfortable and smooth. Number 4. Van Gogh's Dining Table, France to Switzerland. It's a rare thing indeed to be able to sit at the table of a world-famed genius. Steeped in history, the Van Gogh table was a favorite spot of the artist himself when he boarded at a small Swiss hotel called the Auberge Revaux, also known as the House of Van Gogh. During his few-month stay in 1890, Van Gogh painted several important works, including At Eternity's Gate. While preparations for a seminal Van Gogh exhibition were underway at the Kunstmuseum Basel in 2009, a nearby hotel decided to transport the world-famous Van Gogh table from the Auberge Revaux to Auvers-sur-Oise, France, to Basel. The Grand Hotel Le Chara offered a special menu Van Gogh and a closer look at the table, with some of the artist's favorite French dishes to complement the exhibition nearby. But before we continue with the anormal things with bizarre origins, subscribe to our channel Curious Atmosphere that you don't miss any future updates. Number 5. Beaujolais Nouveau Wine, France to Japan. This wine made from fresh and young Gamay grapes in the French Beaujolais region is celebrated every November across the world. Affectionately dubbed Beaujolais by those in the industry, Beaujolais Nouveau Day is marked in France on the third Thursday in November with fireworks, music, and festivals. Under French law, the wine is released at 12:01 a.m., just weeks after the wine scrapes have been harvested. Parties held throughout the country and further afield celebrate the first wine of the season. Japan is a huge market for Beaujolais Nouveau. In November 2004, FedEx took the special wine to the skies, shipping 504,000 bottles of Beaujolais Nouveau wine from Lyon Saint-Exupéry Airport to Japan. As wine is a delicate and potentially volatile product, FedEx needed to ensure that we could transport it at the correct temperature and tilt angle to ensure the uncorking ceremony went without a hitch. An unusual uncorking celebration saw Japanese unophiles uncork over 630 tons of wine. Number 6. Parts from the historic Titanic, Milan, Italy to Atlanta, Georgia. The sinking of the Titanic was one of the greatest tragedies of the early 20th century, and its story has captured imaginations ever since. But piecing together the history of the great ship hasn't been easy. For the Atlanta Museum, putting on the 2006 Titanic The Artifact exhibition, featuring recovered treasures from the deep, was a momentous milestone. And then calamity struck. Exhibition artifacts bound for Atlanta from Greece became stranded when they were mistakenly rerouted from Athens to Italy, and then held by customs who refused to release them, with the museum at a loss. In a race against time to move the special cargo in time for the exhibition opening, our European and US offices worked round the clock to pull off the unique shipment, which even included a 3,000-pound piece of the ship's original hull. As a gift to art lovers everywhere, we donated our time and resources, shipping a momentous piece of history at no fee. Number 7. Search for Amelia Earhart, Los Angeles to Hawaii. One of aviation's greatest enduring mysteries is the disappearance of pioneer aviator Amelia Earhart's plane. On the 75th anniversary of Earhart's disappearance in 2012, we teamed up with Tiger and the Discovery Channel to put our own air logistics expertise to the test. With a plan to comb the ocean underneath Earhart's supposed flight path, the exhibition's deep water search off the coast of Hawaii was made possible by the use of specialized robotic equipment that we shipped in, especially from the continental U.S. 3 containers weighing 25,890 pounds, consisting of the exhibition's underwater remote-operated vehicle unit, traveled more than 2,200 nautical miles by ocean freighter between Los Angeles and Honolulu. We also flew in nearly 6,000 pounds of additional equipment from Massachusetts, including the project's autonomous underwater vehicle that uses sonar to continuously search the deep waters for signs of aircraft. Number 8. Giant Panda, USA to China. When the time came for 4-year-old Baby to follow his brother and sister to China's Giant Panda Conservation and Research Center, FedEx knew what to do. This being our 8th successful panda shipment, we know what it takes to ship giant pandas in specially controlled conditions to keep them safe, healthy, and happy. To facilitate Bebe's return to his home country, we worked with the Smithsonian Zoo in Washington to make the panda journey, Operation Baby, a success. A special panda with a special story. Baby was given his name, meaning treasure, by the 2 first ladies of the USA and China in 2015, Michelle Obama and Peng Liyuan. He became a social media sensation in 2019 with millions of hits. The Smithsonian Zoo even launched a 24-hour Panda Cam live from the panda's enclosure in the countdown to his homeward journey. We wish Baby the best and are proud to be part of his story. And who knows? The Panda Express may fly again in the future. We'll be standing by, just in case, based on what we think is worthy. If you have more about it, please feel free to share them with us, share them in the comments below, and wait for our interesting topics coming soon. If you think they deserve to be on this list, share your opinion in the comments below.